I'm Corbitt with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, August the 6th, brought to you in part by Performance Livestock Analytics. If you're feeding cattle, especially custom feeding, you need Performance Beef software to simplify your feeding, simplify your health data recording, and to create invoices, break-evens, and closeouts in a professional manner. For more information, go to performancelivestockanalytics.com. Brazilian spice. We weren't prepared for this. Your cattle futures went sharply higher on Tuesday, and we think most of it was in response to Brazil's Supreme Court putting their former president under house arrest for his alleged coup plot. Now, the former president of Brazil was an ally of President Trump. He was conservative, and Trump was not liking what was going on with him, and one reason that he put up the 50% tariff to be enacted pretty quick here on Brazil's imports, but we assumed, like he has many times, those real stringent tariffs, he would back off when it come time to put them on, just trying to get some kind of a trade deal going and get a deal done, but likely it's not going to happen this time. So it looks like President Trump is going to go ahead with the 50% tariffs on Brazilian imports, and the heck of it is, Brazil was already at 26.5 after they hit their quota early in the year, so now it's going to be 76.5% tariff on Brazilian beef to start right away. That is going to halt grinding product coming in from Brazil and likely make our beef a lot higher. Like I've been saying, the cows are going to get extremely high. They're in such tight supply already. Your box beef market reacted to it sharply higher also. So, you know, it seems like whenever we've topped out, there's just something else that comes up. You know, whether it's imports or tariffs or whatever it is, it's just extremely high, and it doesn't look like there's any end in sight, not for now anyway. But still coming from you from Kansas City, Kansas, where we had a DVAuction retreat, had a big announcement from our owner Dan Bros on Tuesday. We'll be talking more about that in the coming days. But let's look at your board on Tuesday. August live cattle futures up 337 at 234.27. Still a long ways back from your weighted average on live cattle negotiated sales. October up $3 at 227.10, and your back months on live cattle 257 higher to 315 higher. Now feeder cattle really went up. August feeder cattle futures up 565 at 341.05, surpassing your cash index levels, which have been sharply higher this week already at 341.05. September feeder cattle up 510 at 339.55, and then your back months on feeder cattle were $5 to $5.75 higher. Just crazy high. New crop December corn down 5 cents a bushel at 402. November new crop beans down 3 3/4 at 9.90 3/4. September Kansas City hard red winter wheat down 12.5 cents a bushel at 504.5. So your grains there just teetering on pretty significant thresholds there, with corn around $4 a bushel, beans falling below $10 a bushel, and hard red winter wheat just clinging to $5 a bushel there. But your fat cattle trade negotiated out of your 5-area feeding region. Didn't see a lot. We have seen a little. Iowa sold about 100 head on Tuesday at 240 live, and then that would be within the range of last week. Just somebody needed to get rid of them. Nebraska didn't have any sales on Tuesday confirmed. They did have some Monday late sales at 240 also there. Kansas and Texas have not sold a hoof yet this week. But we did have our market finder price discovery And market transparency at Stockman's Livestock Market in Yankton, South Dakota. They had 1,250 head in overnight, 2,000 head for their fat cattle auction there at Yankton, South Dakota. Brick and mortar auction. The market was about $1.50 to $3.50 lower though, but we did see some really impressive quotes out of there. Conventional cattle selling from $237.50 to $247.50. Non-implanted cattle selling from $242.50 to $249, and the buyers really wanted the drug-free cattle that they had on hand, them selling from $250 to $259.75, and that top quote was on 69 head of half Wagyu blacks. They weighed 17 1/4, and Gary Marks thought they were about half prime. That is an extremely high quote, and I'm not sure many of us were braced for that, but awfully good sell there in Yankton, and thank God we have a good fat cattle auction like that to kind of set the tone. Box beef cutout values, like I said earlier, were sharply higher. Choice cuts $369.94, up $4.15. Selects were $345.94, up $4.35. Your slaughter improved a little bit from Monday's extremely light kill there, and I think there was a couple, at least one plant, major plant, maybe a few more that were dark on Monday, but Tuesday come back better. Now your slaughter through the first 2 days of the week, estimated cattle slaughter 216,000, which is just 5,000 less than last week and 23,000 less than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. You might want to think about introducing Charolais genetics into your herd, guys. Increase your weight gain, your frame size, and your yield grade premiums without sacrificing quality grade, and doing all of that with industry acceptance. You don't have to worry about taking a discount to add a cross in there on your herd, guys. And they've got a really cool website. It's poundsmatter.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market, brought to you by Specialty Risk Insurance. They are working to protect your livelihood. Your real-time cash index after your Tuesday sales had concluded, sitting at 340.54. That's 253 higher. I mean, your sales, your cash feeder auctions just responded positively in a big way to that board being up on Tuesday. Your latest CME cash feeder cattle index was 335.82, lagging behind quite a bit. I want to tell you about a sale you don't want to miss out that's coming up on Thursday. It's the Central Virginia Cattlemen's Association Certified Virginia Quality Assurance, or VQA, feeder sale, and they have got 62 loads, guys. 62 loads. The quality will be as good as you can find anywhere. 62 loads of home-raised, double vaccinated, long-time weaned feeder calves right there coming out of Virginia. They'll be in load lots, guys, and that VQA has genetic requirements, so I mean they're going to be top quality, good as you can find, those kind that can really put the pounds on. That is coming to you from Radiant, Virginia. It is going to be Thursday evening at 5 o'clock Central or 6 o'clock Eastern there. For more information on those cattle, you can go to cvcacattle.com or go on to DVAuction and look at the information there, and be ready to go on to DVAuction.com Thursday evening to bid on those cattle. Talk about your big sales on Tuesday. Beaver County Stockyards had a big sale. They had 5,000 head, including the cows, which they had a big slaughter cow run there too. But the big feeder steers were sure $2 to $4 higher. Lighter weights sharply higher, just like your futures market. And it was your Superior Steel sales, home of Superior Standard cattle equipment there. Stick out sale of the day. You look at this automated market report from Cattle Market Central and you see the best tested quotes there. They had 337 head of the 5-weight steers, average 544 pounds at 430.18 on the weighted average. 376 head of the 6-weight steers, average 626 at 397.99. There were 371 head of the 7-weight steers in beaver, they averaged 757 pounds at 355.04. 548 head of the 8 weights averaged 865 at 334.06, and 622 head of the 9-weight steers in beaver averaged 942 pounds at 319.95. Look at some of the heifers. There were 237 head of the 6-weight heifers, averaged 639 pounds at 340.73. 331 head of the 7-weight heifers, averaged 759 at 328.26. And 489 head of 8-weight feeder heifers in Beaver County Stockyards, Beaver, Oklahoma, they averaged 832 pounds with a weighted average price of $320.85. The most prestigious stick-out quote that I saw in an individual group was 108 steers at Beaver weighed 600 pounds smooth and bring $423.50. They had an impressive market at Bluegrass Stockyards in Lexington, Kentucky. DVAuction broadcaster there as well. I mean, they had a lot of big strings of cattle in there. I picked out 5 loads of steers that weighed from 860 to 960. They sell through the ring in Lexington, Kentucky from 326 to 339. Wow. How about an individual quote from Cattleman's Livestock Auction in Harrison, Arkansas? They're a DVAuction broadcaster as well. 201 head, 585 pound steers bring $425 in Harrison, Arkansas, guys. Had an impressive sale in Scotland County Livestock Market in Memphis, Missouri. They had 4 loads of steers weighed from 730 to just over 8. They bring from 365 to 375.50. Big time quote out of a big time sale up in Kimball, South Dakota at Kimball Livestock Exchange. 134 head of 886 pound steers bring $355.60. But the most impressive sale that I saw anywhere on Tuesday, most impressive quote, and your Macrocin, no BS, top quote from the day, come out of Kingsville Livestock Auction. The Ensign family there had 73 steers, weighed 685, bring $397.50. Follow that. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.